Hello, and welcome back to the Dabbler's Domain. It has been a while, but I think, ready to keep this moving and go on with our Star Trek Adventures Captain's Log. To actually get going and try to do some gameplay. There are times where I think I am just going to wing it. And we'll see how that goes. To catch up real quickly, we have our cybernetically enhanced Jem'Hadar diplomat, third Vinli Iwa. We are assigned, or will be assigned, to the USS Solstice, which is a Nova class vessel. And yeah, so I have kind of the first scene written out, scene-ish kind of thing, enough to give us one click, I think, on our mission tracker. If I read correctly, it was like, there's 5 per act, or 5, one per scene, 5 scenes per act. There's a couple other yes/no probability rolls, I think, but well, we'll see when we get there. And then I think maybe I'll write out while on here the second scene. Well, second scene. It's the second. Anyways, and we will. And then then I kind of want to see, is it better if I just kind of come to it with it complete, or kind of do it on the fly and see how that goes. Anyway, so I think without any more hesitation, let's get into it. And here is the Word document. Oh, I was actually trying to pause the recording. Oh, I think pausing the recording because I have dogs next to me. They were about to get going, but I just want to check something real quick. Okay, yep, that was it. All right. Fantastic. Okay, so here we go. Let's get this thing kicked off with episode 1, which I have at the moment titled Searching for the Truth. Gotta get my best Jem'Hadar impersonation going on here. So they kind of, they talk. Gotta get that. Ambassador's Log. Stardate 53029.2. Timeout. I wasn't quite sure if I should have the Jem'Hadar use stardates, but now, so I'm just kind of going with it. Anyways, I apologize. Back to character. Ambassador's Log, Stardate 53029.2. I am awaiting the arrival of the USS Solstice to embark on a diplomatic mission across the Gamma Quadrant. The Federation must inspect several outposts and planets to make sure that the Dominion, i.e. the Founders, are not arming for another war. War. How I miss battle. I was made for it. Now, 1 year after the Dominion signed the Treaty of Bajor, I am wired for peace. The implants no longer pain me. How I miss the pain sometimes. This will be my first time on a Federation starship. My first time interacting peacefully with the Federation. This shall be interesting. Victory is life. A voice comes over the comm. Third Vinli Iwa, report to the transporter pad. Whoops, sorry. Yes, first, we reply. As we approach the door to our quarters, the doors open and we are met by second. I don't have a name. by second Jin Owa. Yeah, second Jin Owa. Why not? I don't, wow, what is that? Tell you what that is. That is misspellings. I don't know if he's going to be important moving forward, so I never gave him a name. Second, come to see me off. Prepare yourself. And now we have some light combat, which is what I'm using for my mission tracker. So combat, I think we use, or at least this time, I'm going to use fitness and security, which is 13. So I have to roll a 13 or lower here on our little dice rollers. There we go. All we need is one of the numbers, so this would be a success. This would be a major success, and we would have gained momentum. And let's see if we can find one. This would be a failure, and then I would have to go find a threat or a major failure. Or no, just a failure, I would say. So, okay, so we have some combat. When I looked at combat in the book, and I should have had this book marked, the personal combat flowchart is create hit tracks for each character, keeping this simple, only doing 2. Choose a character. We are third Vinli Iwa, and perform a task. So we have to roll for our task, to get 13. If it is a success, we apply 1 hit to the opposition. If it's a failure, we apply to our character. We can then spend momentum and or threat. And is the track full? Yes. Resolve the injury. Scene over. Mark pressures on the mission tracker. No. We go back and start again. So I didn't start with 1 hit on my character because I didn't give the opposition the initiative. Although maybe I should have, but first fight, this is where I'm bending rules ever so slightly to do. So let's start this off. All right, so now we are in battle. Why? So that is our first 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, and now I have to go find threats. 1 moment. Okay, so let's read exactly what the book says for threat. So threat, when you attempt an action, sometimes things will go wrong. Perhaps the odds are against you, or maybe the action you're attempting simply proved to be more difficult than you initially anticipated. Threat is the counterpoint to momentum, providing additional hurdles to cross. When threat occurs, things get more difficult, and now you need to handle it. So I have gained a threat right now. A threat is generated when one of your d20s rolls a 20. You can never have more than 1 point of threat if you attempt a task, and both dice come up as 20. You have a threat, not 2. Think of threat as a condition rather than something you occur. Once threat is generated, it must be spent sooner or later. You choose whether threat is spent immediately or stored for later. Threat can be spent in one of 2 ways. Create a complication. You can spend threat immediately when it is occurred. If you do this, you introduce new danger to your current scene. This is a twist to your story. Perhaps a new adversary arrives, or another emergency appears that demands your urgent attention. Narrate how the situation gets worse from your captain, or roll the threat spend matrix on page 278. You could also choose to roll on the complication matrix, or any other matrix wherein things can become worse. Increase difficulty. If you choose this option, the next action you attempt requires 2 successes to be rolled instead of the normal 1. It is my decision whether you want to spend or save threat. And I believe, now let me double check the combat rolls, because I think we do if we fail on 1. task, we get a threat. Well, in this one, we get a threat. So I'm pretty sure, and I'm just going to play as if I got a threat. Let's go to 278 just to see, because I'm going to spend it right away in this combat. So I think, let's see, okay, 194, increasing difficulty. Sometimes a situation will occur that makes your attempts to succeed harder. Increased difficulty may occur as a result of threat. So yeah. However, in tasks that have difficulty increasing, you must roll equal or under to your target number with both d20s. In addition, you cannot gain momentum when roll. So I think I'm gonna try that, which sounds a little rough. Oh, and there's also here on the combat. So can threat spends. I could add 1 hit, which I'm not going to do because then that would end it. Remove 1 hit from opposition, which he doesn't have one. Next task is difficulty 2, or create a complication. So I think, yeah, for this one, we're still in combat. Now I have to have both die land under 13, or 13 or lower. Let's go. I did. So that is 1 hit on him. 1, 2. However, I do not gain momentum for this. So now we're back to the regular one where I only need 1 die to be under 13. Hit huge, and now I actually gain momentum as well, which is, so I'm going to make a note here for my equipment. I'm going to say +1, because I might want to use this later. Momentum. Okay, now back here. So success. We reached down. That was, side note before I could do that, was a little. Okay, so we reached down and picked second up off the floor. Well fought, third. You are ready. Do not forget where you came from while trapped with those Federation's dogs. Take this. So second hands us a dagger, a remnant from one of the first worlds the Jem'Hadar took for the Founders many years ago. Add the item to my equipment. So I have early Jem'Hadar. That was 2 A's, right? Yeah, no. Early Jem'Hadar dagger. Not maybe, let's just make the decision. We put that on our little side holster. And while I remember it, since that was our first little mission, little check, we can check that off. Back up to our character here. Don't have to worry about failure because we were fine. So we make our way to the transporter room and meet with First. Okay, so now he is kind of important. Okay, so yeah, so First, he is probably actually going to be recurring throughout. So we should give him a name because I didn't have a name for him yet. So let's go to the name generator. And I think we're going to give him two-syllable name. Roll a d20 to determine the syllabic progression. 17. So 17. Then roll on the A, B, C, D matrices in order of the combination of letters presented in your progressive results. Combine the result syllables in the progression order or whatever order fits your needs. So 17 we have D, in, Zog, use, or Oos. So I'm going to do Zog D. Yeah, so first Zog D. So we make our way to the transporter room, and we are met with first Zog D. He greets us and warns us of the importance of our task. He was the first Jem'Hadar to undergo this alteration and has been pacified the longest. Victory is life, third. Go and complete your mission. We have a probable yes-no roll here for our response. So I did write down what the probabilities are, so I don't have to keep looking back to see, probable, like most probable, blah blah. Anyway, so 1 to 15 for our yes. It is a 9. We always go off when we have to roll 1 instead of me changing it every time. We'll just go off the first number. So that is a yes. So yes, victory is life. And first hands us a small case. So now we also have with us a small case. What's in the box? All right. Remember, third. And I'm just going to skip over the no. Remember, third, be on your best behavior. This may be your first mission beyond this station, but you were chosen for a reason. Remember what you learned about the Federation and do the Jem'Hadar proud. We feel a swell of emotion build up inside us. We also feel the strange workings of the cybernetics doing their jobs and repressing our natural Jem'Hadar instincts. We have a highly probable response. Yes, no response. 16, yes. Of course, first. The transporter activates, and we find ourselves on the USS Solstice. And now it's time for scene 2. And I believe, if I remember, yeah, it's all kind of indents. So let's take the time and write out this transporter room scene. So just kind of, I might talk and do this, but just kind of sit back and enjoy where my mind tries to go, I guess. So as we materialize onto the pad, we are met with, I'd say the welcome party should be, let's say 3 people. So we have the captain, let's have the captain, the first officer, the security officer, and I guess the transporter, I guess transporter chief, transporter, person at the transporter console. I guess we'll give him the transporter chief. We'll see. We are met with 4. Let's actually write out the number. Oh man. Representatives from the Federation. We are going to have a female captain. Based on our knowledge of Federation ranks, we see a captain, a commander, and a lieutenant commander. The captain steps forward. How did I write dialogue? I forgot how I wrote dialogue. Doesn't matter. That doesn't just change it on the go. It's fine. This is Captain Blank. We'll need to name her. Welcome aboard USS Solstice. I am Captain Blank. This is my first officer. So hold on. Let's us really. You know, I want to fucking. I want to. But I want to have it capitalized. Okay. So this is female. We are going to have a female Andorian as the captain, and I will look at creating characters in play to come back and do it. This is my first officer Blank. They are going to be a What am I thinking? Let me have something interesting, shall we? Like, let's see. Let's go to just character creation just to see what we're dealing with for species. Because we chose like next generation era, we can do pretty much anything from before. So we have an Andorian captain with a I know, it's just me looking at them, looking at names. Okay, you know, only because I haven't really seen or heard of anything in a while about this race. At least I feel like I haven't. We're going to have a male Denobulan as the first officer. Or do I want? No. See, if I made the Denobulan, no, wow, my words. If I made the Denobulan a doctor, that'd be a little too close to Phlox. But so yes. So first officer, blank blank, and our chief of security. Lieutenant. Call him Lieutenant. No, call him Lieutenant Commander. Yeah, Lieutenant Commander. It's my first officer, and I should actually say this is my first officer Commander Blank, who's a male Denobulan, and our Chief of Security, Lieutenant Commander Blank. And they are. Let me go back and check some stuff here. Okay. So we have an Andorian captain, a Denobulan first officer, and a. Let's have a. You know what? I don't. One sec. And so we have a Lieutenant Commander Blank, who is a female Sorin. Maybe they like to party and they bring us a little brandy from time to time. So I will look later and name them, I think, instead of wasting time now, because I do want to keep this under about 30 minutes, and right now I've been recording for about 25, so we'll keep it going for a little bit longer, and we'll see how it goes. Okay, so we're met. The captain greets us. So Captain Blank, he goes, welcome aboard the USS Solstice. I'm Captain. This is my first officer, Commander. And our Chief of Security, Lieutenant Commander. Let's have our Chief of Security say, let's have our chief. Really, I spelled security wrong. Oh. Chief of Security approaches us and spots the dagger hanging from our hip. Actually, since I'm not, this isn't dialogue, Chief of Security approaches us, and it can be lowercase. Thank you. What's wrong? No. I guess technically, yeah. Okay, fine. The Chief of Security. I don't think it pops up my little Grammarly suggestions from our hip. So we have a yes/no probability coming up. Probability. I don't know what it's going to be like once I create the character in game, and maybe that'll be next episode. We'll create a character in turn or in play. I'll read up on it and see how that goes, and then we'll, based on those stats, we'll do that. Anyway, so yes, no probability. I want some thingies. So yes, no probability. Yes. So they recognize the dagger as ceremonial and knows it poses no threats based on gem dollar culture. Which I'm not actually sure. I might just be making that up as I go, and that's fine. We have a no. We get a no. Blank alerts the captain and draws phaser. Okay. Just clear it up. And no. Is the same and knows. No, I want to keep that. I want to keep that plural. Dismiss. A phaser and draws a phaser. How about and draws their phaser? How about that? Okay. All right, so we are just about the 30-minute mark. We've kind of started scene 2. We do have to make up our captain, our first officer, and our chief of security. And we have a yes/no probability. Where I'm thinking this goes, and as I said, I'm only cutting this down because of time. We'll get going on the next one for that one. That where I want this scene to kind of go in for our little checkbox, we're going to have a speech check, I think, with the captain, which will be our reason and our command, I think, for 14. But we'll have a couple other yes/no roles just within here. Yeah, let me know. Should I write it out and then just kind of play it and go down it? Or is it kind of fun watching it kind of come up as it goes? As I said, there's some notes in my head where I want to go with this, but I definitely off screen will be, uh, maybe not definitely. Let me know. Um, no, don't know, because I'm going to do this before even posting it. I will make these 3 characters, but if more characters come along, would you rather see me make those in game as we play, or just kind of have everything ready to go and we're just going through it? All right, this has been fun. I been putting this off for a little bit too long. I gotta be honest, a little nervous, but just going with the flow. All right, until next time. This way, this way, this way. All right, take it easy.